Welcome everyone to the show. A week late, but right on time as far as you're concerned this evening. I hope everyone is doing well. Ben, Matt, how are you guys doing?
Hello
Peachy.
to
How
the
are you?
people in the internet box.
Tonight, we're going to be playing Anomalies Detected, our next game that's going to be coming out.
Actually, technically, the first game that Matt wrote for us.
Technically,
Yeah,
yes.
that's a weird story.
You know, funny little bit of trivia right there, which is kind of funny. Matt wrote the game a while back, and it actually morphed into the project that you now know as Don't Look Back. And we've kind of always had that on the side. Anyone, that has played the beta kind of knows what the deal is.
Skirmish game side piece.
yeah. I mean, it's always been on the website. Like, if you buy the Space Truckers, you got the copy of the beta. But
and then after Don't Look Back, Matt revisited and basically rewrote into a very different game.
It is very. I mean, there's some similarities to it. Like if you played the original kind of game that we had bopping around, there's similarities to it, but there is a lot that's changed and is very new.
Right, it's not Don't Look Back in space.
It is not.
That would have just been an expansion.
It's not. Yeah, we're gonna have so many people ask us that. They're like, "Is this just a sci-fi version of Don't Look Back?"
There are definitely those similarities in the way that like you use actions and things like that, which are similar to a lot of skirmish type games. But you will be able to see like at its foundation how it grew into Don't Look Back.
Can someone ban Malev?
Ban that man right now.
Malev hasn't talked to us in like 5 or 6 days, and that's what he comes in here in our chat with.
Yep.
Hey, I was talking to him earlier. He just doesn't talk to you.
He hasn't talked to me in 5 or 6 days, and that's what he's coming in the chat with.
Me.
There we go.
Him
Don't
like
look ahead.
this.
That's what we'll call this.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, here's the deal. All right. This is a live playtesting session. So similar to if you guys ever tuned into our Luna playtesting sessions, we're just going to playtest live and we're streaming it. So this is a really raw look at the process.
And this isn't like we have the turkey in the oven for the past show situation. Like I haven't even read these rules. I'll be honest. I barely read the first iteration of the rules. That's just not my department. Ben has read the rules because he's been working on the layout, but I'm not sure you've gotten like an actual game in at any point.
No, I spent all my time sculpting miniatures and doing art. I don't have time to play. I will say the guys that have been playtesting it, big shout out to them. They've been a huge help.
Always a big shout out to them.
I can't name you all because I only know you by your Discord names. But you know who you are, and if you are interested in playtesting this, then jump on the Discord and hit us up. We are actively seeking playtesters for multiple games at the moment, not just Anomalies Detected. So basically, we're just going to run through a game. We got some minis. We got some dice. We got some
chicken
filet. Which sauce did you get?
Chick-fil-A sauce, man. Chick-fil-A and ranch all day, every day. On sandwiches, on tenders, on nugs, and milkshakes.
The stream is just sitting here and loading for me. I can't actually see anything right now.
It's too much Chick-fil-A. It's just like, So yeah, that's the deal. If you're tuning into this stream, maybe a year from now, and you're like, "Oh, what's Anomaly?" Don't watch this. Okay, this is just a live playtesting thing. The parts of this game may change before it goes live. For pre-order, you should stop watching right now and go and find whatever video we made at the time when it launched.
Yes.
Unless the world has ended and you're the last man left alive. In that case, go and find yourself a mannequin to be your best friend, like that guy in I Am Legend or whatever that movie is.
No, I thought you were gonna say oh man, what was the no. What was it like kids superhero show? The Umbrella Academy.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Umbrella Academy. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. When he was like, go get your mannequin friend. I was like, oh.
That too. I mean, hey, Malev's rating with a party of 51.
Malev throws shade and then gives us a raid of 51. Yeah. Malev throws Shinobi, the real one.
That's sick, dude.
Thanks for the raid.
Welcome to everyone from Malev's stream. I hope you had a nice time hanging out. What was he painting? Hopefully something delicious.
What was Malev's rant today? What was his like 30-minute tangent that he went on?
I hope it was
I know he
about I'm excited for Not Look Back space. There we go. Cool. Matt, I guess if you want to give people a little bit of an intro to the game.
I'm trying to get not Discord. I'm trying to get Twitch to work. I'm just looking at a black screen, so I can see you guys in Discord, but I don't know what's going on in the real world.
Try to go to YouTube or Facebook.
Oh yeah, okay. I can get the YouTube link for you if you want.
If anyone's here on YouTube or Facebook and you're thinking, ooh, I need to switch over to Twitch for a giveaway, don't worry about it. There's no giveaways tonight. We're just chilling out. The giveaway tonight is friendship, camaraderie, and brotherhood. Yeah. I think I was ranting about Kill Team a bit, but it was mostly on point. Weren't you ranting about Kill Team last week too? Are you just like on a Kill Team kill fest?
There's a lot to there's a lot to rant about.
Yeah, that's true. I love getting all my GW like gossip from Malev. His like streams.
It's a pretty good source, not gonna lie.
All right. Okay, I'm on the YouTubes now, so I can see the things. Oh, the table is amazing. I got to see a picture of it earlier, but now I can see it.
So this is the table, guys. This is using our ARC system with a few other bits. Pretty small board for Anomaly. Go back out to this top
2x2?
It is a 2x2 board, which is this corner to the silver, plus like the 2 inches up top silver. Our arc rooms fill it out. The layout is a spaceship. The, I guess, key points for this would be a cryo chamber room and an escape pod bay. So escape pod bay is on the side. Cryo chamber room is down here. We are using the ARC supercomputer kit. It's kind of like a central cryo. You could imagine people in there and then coming out potentially. Have some scatter, have some little computer terminals around, have a big duct thing, have the ARC elevator that works. I forgot how satisfying this ARC elevator is. Pull it up.
I'm feeling bad that I don't have an ARC elevator. What the heck?
And then you just,
I didn't even know
this
that
little
was a
finger
thing.
right here, you just push it and it goes down. You say, second story. Click.
Which
so nice.
As a side note, the rules do support kind of modifying number of turns and things if you decide to do multi-level tables. So if you wanted to go up in your 2x2 and add levels, there's some things to help you account for that.
This game, well, that's so Fallherk. That's one of the biggest changes. Is yes, I'm using the ARC system just because I have it. But one of the biggest changes from beta Anomaly to current iteration, and Matt, you can speak more on this though, is the removal of basing it around the ARC. Because beta Anomaly was like in the ARC, wasn't it?
It was like specifically framed to use those corridors as. Now, while Connor and I obviously, and I think I can speak to you, Matt, we love that style of board. It's expensive and it's also it would be not feasible for us to produce a ship's worth of terrain for everyone that wanted to order this game as an MDF kit. So if you notice, we released a set of really cool STLs the other day that you can 3D print that are sized to fit with our ARC stuff.
Hopefully
so we're starting
we'll
to
have
offer
that ready next time. next time we.
Yeah, shout out to my mate David who printed like a whole bunch of that. That actually shipped that out today. I got it. 3D printer was like burning the midnight oil for the past, I guess, like probably 2 weeks almost.
Yeah.
So I'll start painting up a set of that. But we kind of wanted to set up the game in a way that's like, if you want to play it with corridors, that's great, but you also could set up a board that's maybe a little bit more freeform. But I guess if Matt, if you want to elaborate a little bit more on that, you're welcome to.
Sure. So one of the big mechanics of the game to sort of capture the trapped claustrophobic feel of being in space while being terrorized by whatever it is that's terrorizing you. There's a lot that has to do with environments and how there's jump scares and don't look back to kind of capture that feel of jump scares, things happening that are unexpected. Terrain plays an even bigger part in Anomaly with things like flickering lights, venting steam pipes, cramped corridors, bodies of crewmates floating or laying in different areas. When we used arc, every arc section, so you can actually see it really well in here since these are arc pieces, but each one of these kind of major rooms or pieces would generate its own environmental factor, an effect that you could use to kind of keep track of what's happening in there. And now the rules talk a little bit more about in each table quadrant, just making sure that you have at least 2 kind of unique room features in there. So you're going to end up with 8 kind of environments on the table. But you can also, I mean, just like Don't Look Back, one of my big things is that I want it to be accessible to create sort of the atmosphere that you want. So you could indeed, and it talks about in the rulebook, you could randomly generate them. You could choose what you want. You could even say, we want this room to have 2 instead of just 1 environmental effect.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up well. So it's kind of framing the game so it gives it a little bit more, ability to kind of adapt to either the terrain that you have or maybe specific tables you want to make. Or if you just want to go like straight classic sci-fi corridors, that's also going to work too. So kind of just makes it a little bit more adaptable. So let's talk about like characters and miniatures. So Don't Look Back, there's named people that have names and backstories and stuff, whereas Anomaly is a little different, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you
So
will.
in Anomalies Detected, the characters are really representing their role on the ship. And the idea is that they really are expendable. These ships or frontier stations and things that are on planets, the crew are expendable. They are sent out to perform certain jobs, but at the end of the day, the finances of the large companies and the global interests are more important. So you play a role on the ship, from like the XO to a captain, engineers, roughnecks, there's all sorts of things. And what grows if you choose to play this in more of a campaign aspect is the anomalies or whatever it is that's stalking, harassing, raiding your ship. They grow, and your crew people, they don't. So it's a fresh crew. They're just replaced. Nobody really cares about them per se. So the focus is more on whatever is terrorizing the crew grows and adapts and changes and learns, as opposed to the crew doing that.
And what is terrorizing the crew? Could you speak a little bit on that? Because it's not just a thing, right?
Yes.
It's not a
so
monster.
We have. It's in the core game. It's revolves around a xeno, a creature, a species that is a specimen that is unleashed somehow on the ship, whether they landed and it got aboard or somebody brought something on board, cargo was mislabeled, secret dealings. It revolves around this kind of spiny, muscular, hulking creature in the core set, but we've also started to design and talked about other things. So there could be things like space pirates, mercenary forces, rogue synthetic beings that are coming to loot your ship for parts that they need in the outer core area.
So while you're looking at the stuff on screen, I'll just say this: the miniatures that we are using are not the official Anomalies Detected miniatures. That one is just obviously a classic alien miniature. I forget who makes them. And then obviously the other characters are part of our space horror range. So
at its core, Beta Anomaly was kind of like heavily inspired by Alien, but at this point, it is like Matt's saying, the villain, the thing that is hunting you, isn't always a monster. Even I saw someone ask about like the Thing sort of creature. It kind of fits anything like that. The main core concept would then be a small crew with like a low sci-fi setting on a ship in space. Or on a planet surface, right? Because it can work on planets as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of adaptability, again, just like the terrain situation, like, and also like with what Matt's kind of done for Don't Look Back, where technically you can do any horror type character or trope that you want. So, and I think that's kind of, you'll see that a lot in the final launch miniatures and stuff, which are in progress, but they're just not at a state where I can show them.
Yeah. It's much more easy for us just to pull our already painted, mastered space truckers and the speed painting an alien miniature, which
thanks to Doug, who painted that in like probably 5-10 minutes for us the other day.
Well, he painted that and the face huggers too, because potentially there's going to be 3. Right? Potentially there's like in this scenario, there's up to 3 things that your crew is trying to survive against.
Yeah, it does get, for the Xeno species that's in here, it does get drastically harder for more of them to appear, but it is possible. And one is pretty deadly. I'm not even gonna say pretty deadly. One is very deadly. 2 is
oh man. Well, if there's any chance for me to roll all 3 on turn 1, we'll probably do that. Speaking of rolling, what kind of dice do I need here?
You are going to need d20s.
I have 1.
So you're going to see that characters in this are a little bit more fleshed out than like the characters in Don't Look Back. Don't Look Back, things are kind of tied together. Like combat represents ranged melee, whatever it is that they're fighting with. And this, characters have a specific field of view. They have a ranged attack characteristic. They have a melee attack characteristic. They have an awareness value. They have a body value, which can change from character to character. So Don't Look Back, most people are 10. And then there is panic in here, which is, that's where fright value sort of evolved from. But the way that it works in this is much different. So you start accumulating penalties to the things that you do as soon as you start to gain panic, not once you kind of break the threshold, like in Don't Look Back. Characters do, again, have a trait or an item or a pair of traits or maybe 2 items. But one of the big things that's different in Anomaly is that when you thaw your crew to respond to whatever the emergency is, whatever anomalies have been detected that they have to go out and try and take care of in the name of the company who pays them not a whole heck of a lot, they can play either in a defensive posture or an offensive posture. And you can sort of choose to use that at the beginning of the game how you want. And it sort of represents different things. So when your characters are selected and thawed to respond, you could draw your character randomly, look at them and decide, I want to play this particular character defensively this time. Or you could see all 4 of your characters and then sort of build your crew like they've kind of woken up, they've had a little bit of time to make a plan, this is what we're going to do. or you can keep it sort of one at a time. As they wake up, they're sort of more thinking about themselves than they are the group. And their stats and their items and traits and things switch depending on whether they are offensive and defensive. And there are opportunities for them to actually flip during the game.
Oh, and like, so some of them, like offensive, they'll get, like, I'm seeing the engineer here. Offensively, he gets a large wrench as a weapon, but defensively, he does not. He just gets boons to like searches and things like that.
Yep.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's
and
cool.
their ranged melee and awareness may change a little bit within the ranges that they are to sort of reflect that as well. Their body and their panic values stay the same, whether they're offensive or defensive, because even if a character flips mid-game, they still track whatever panic and damage they've taken. So that will keep. But like with the engineer, like you just said, with his large wrench, if he switches from offensive to defensive, he kind of puts that wrench away, and now he's focusing on other things. So he's not going to have that item available until he would have flipped back.
I like that a lot. I think that's really cool.
Ben and Matt have frozen. That's because, and they're back because for some reason I have to do that. Sorry about that.
I've been thawed.
I like that too. Single player, co-op, or versus?
Single, all three. Single, co-op, and versus is a thing.
So wait, are you saying that in Anomaly, someone can play as the bad guys?
Yes. Yep, that is a thing. You can be a player anomaly, or you can run them as an AI anomaly, and each of whatever it is that you're choosing, whatever the anomaly is, will have its own specific rules for what you need to do to play them as an AI or as a player.
Look at you, Mr. Fancy writing rules, boy.
It's like you've done it before.
It's like you've got some other games under your belt now.
And that has been a lot of, I think that's been the neat sort of cycle with this, is writing Anomaly kind of is the first thing. Let's just make a thing. We did that to sort of see like, how are we going to work together? Whatever. That was a lot of fun. And then work on Don't Look Back. Have all this time to sort of hone it and respond to player feedback and what they're interested in, and go through the process of designing a game, and then getting to go back to Anomaly and kind of even add in some things that Don't Look Back doesn't have or didn't have to start with, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, which I think is great. I'm really excited. Malin wants a tour of the ship, Connor. Give him a tour of the SS Erikstad.
So
while you do that, I'm going to go get more iced tea.
Great.
I'm going to crack a DC.
So like we said, this game in its beta version a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, it did require the art terrain. It does not anymore. The prompts are somewhat vague, open to interpretation. You can use the terrain you have. You could have a relatively open board. We are looking at making ship interiors in different ways. Like Ben mentioned, our 3D printable ship interior that he released last week, I think. So anyways, for this one, just says mix of hallways, bulkheads, and rooms. One is the pod bay. One room, which is going to be this far right side, is the pod bay for escape pods. And one is the cryo sleep chamber. So if we want to helicopter over here is the cryo sleep chamber. And here you have some sort of storage room, maybe rations or something. Main hub with an elevator that could take you up to level 2. For this instance, it will not work. A stairs in case the elevator is not working, but again, we aren't going up to level 2 here. And then after that, just some hallways going around. And then you have the escape pod bay right over here.
You know what would be a cool thing for us to make, Connor? Is some like little vents that we could place on either side of 2 closed walls.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
Doug and I were talking about some ideas today too. We have some cool alternatives as well, since I was messing with this stuff. So that's the ship. It's a small board, 2x2. Now, is that a standard size for anomalies, Matt?
It is. Yep, it is
All
a
right.
standard size, but like I sort of mentioned earlier, there's some rules and some options if you wish to sort of go more vertical than you kind of would, horizontally build out the table. You can build it up.
Nice.
Which, I mean, if you have an elevator, that already works. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yep, that's neat.
Cool. Okay, so
Let's play.
yeah, we have Anomalies Detected. Anomaly has been the project title for it, and we'll change. The only other information that people may be interested in, I did see it, was a potential pre-order release date. Now, we've got hopes and dreams. All right.
We got plenty of those. Let me just be honest.
We live our production schedule with spunk and prayer, okay? But
Yeah.
so we aren't going to tell you what we want, but it is 2021. That is the goal.
Yeah.
So we have at minimum 3 months, not even. We have 3 months for that to go live. So very soon for people.
You will probably see in the next week or so, things will start to most likely ramp up in terms of us posting about it. Some preview images. You'll start to see some teasers of the miniatures and art and things. And once things like that start to drop, then we'll be able to give people a bit more of a solid date. We have, and we said this with Luna, we have a date in mind, but we don't want to commit to that publicly just yet, just in case things shift around. Once you start getting towards this half of the year, there's a lot of things we've got to juggle. Like there's Black Friday, there's Millennium Con, probably if that ends up happening for us, and then obviously there's Thanksgiving and holiday stuff that we have to kind of work it around. So
on top of our normal fulfillment, which thank you everyone for the support, because it has been firing on all cylinders lately.
Yeah. Actually, quick little update on that. So if you are a Luna bro, all of the core stuff has gone out, and we're just waiting on the casts for all of the extra bonus content.
Some cores did not go out if you're international and you did not tell us that you wanted it to be split ship.
Correct.
I'm pretty sure almost everyone but like one person told us they wanted to consolidate it.
Yeah.
But if you're international and like, what? I should have gotten it. Check your junk mail or shoot us an email, because we're assuming you want it consolidated for tax purposes.
Yeah. And then the bonus stuff still currently on track for like a mid-October. As of now, we don't know of any other delays or anything. That's when we should have stuff in hand and get them shipped
everything
out.
But the resin now. And we have had tests of all the resin pieces. And we see that a lot of the resin has been cast. It just hasn't been shipped over. And we aren't going to ship it until it all gets here. So
the other update too is if you're a Don't Look Back fiend, Curse Crates, if you notice, the orders for those closed out the other day. Just huge thanks to everyone that supported that. That was a massive release for us. It went way better than we had all anticipated, which is amazing. And we are deep into fulfillment on that now. So the Mama Luna's miniatures are in production. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, dude. The miniatures production on those has started. The books are being printed. Everything's kind of in print now. So basically that should be out. When we launched it, when we were like, we can't commit to a hard date on when you're going to receive those, the plan is for our effort is to get them out before Halloween, obviously. With the way things are right now, we just don't know. It's mostly our printers are really like the dates slip and they kind of like slide around a lot. The printer will be like, yeah, we'll have this done in 6 days. And then it'll be like 12, 14. And those, it doesn't seem like a lot, but those date variances can really throw things off. And then maybe a package goes missing in the middle of the desert somewhere.
Or a train derails.
So, that said, it's going to be our biggest effort to get them out before Halloween. That is what we will try and do. And it seems doable at this very moment, but again, I couldn't say for sure. And then if you pre-ordered a Camp Northwood or a cabin, those have started shipping, and we're kind of on the very tail end of those.
Yes,
the fulfillment for those.
We are. I thought this one was my fault. I had said that I had hoped to finish them off last week, and the ones that I saw, I did finish off. There have been some logistic growing pains over the past 3 weeks, and one of those pains came back to bite me, and I had a miscount of how many we needed. But those are currently, well, not currently, well, they're in the midst of being cut and should be wrapped up in the next 2 days or so. And then they'll be out the door for sure. I triple checked this time.
So we should be looking to wrap all those by the end of this week, ideally.
Yeah. And potentially, I actually was doing the math today, potentially we can still have our plans of that little release that we were thinking. We'll see how it goes. But
yeah, we got something fun.
With MZF production caught up, which it would be at that point, then, because we're also looking to do the first big run of the Mama Luna kits this week too, finish those off.
Yeah.
Then we'll be good to go for something new, made out of painted wood, potentially. We'll see. We'll see.
The new molds for the supporting characters fully operational now. Yes, so we restocked the supporting characters. Those arrived the other day. The guys packed them up, which is great. Big shout out to our caster for getting that done so quickly. Damn Pizza Boy.
Our guys for packing hundreds and counting hundreds of things.
Yeah, actually, big shout out to our staff. I just want to say we shout them out a lot, but they, all the product that you guys get it's all just those dudes who paint the sheets, pack the miniatures, and do all that. Which is let's be real, it's not always the most fun jobs, but they always do a really good job. So we're really proud of them.
I kind of maybe want to do a little day in the life of during one day. Maybe when we're packing like a bunch of lunar orders, or
day in the life of Walter the shop dog
of BSS employees. Why you don't want to work at a game company? Why you don't want to ruin your hobby?
My day in the life of would be I get out of my bed, I walk into my office, I sit at my desk, and then I'm here for like 16 hours.
Yeah.
And then I go to bed. That's my day in life.
Oh man.
All right, let's play. Let's
do it. Okay. Escape pod mission. I got it right here, boys. The ship has been overrun by anomalies. ISS, which is what is it, Matt?
Internal ship sensor.
The internal ship sensor has informed you that your highest chance of survival is activating and using one of the ship's escape pods before the self-destruct system is armed and activated. However long that takes. Game length, 10 turns. Additional turns on D10, roll of 6 up to 3 extra turns. There is one dread. One dread.
Dun, dun.
Don't know what a dread is, but there's one of them. Set up a 2x2 board with a mix of hallways, bulkheads, and rooms. Choose one room at the edge of the table to be the pod bay, this side. The other side of the board, place a cryo sleep chamber on the edge of the board, right over here. All characters start in the cryo sleep chamber. Characters. I've lost one. I found it. I have characters. I have the Roughneck. Let's get in. Let's get some little character profiles here.
So I'll be honest, I picked all these randomly.
Yeah, so I hope they're good.
I was just like, that one.
We have... Oh, I'm dropping them. We have the Roughneck. We have the Engineer. Okay, who's the Engineer? This person. That's the Engineer. I probably am not doing this true to the movie, but this isn't Alien the game, guys. This is Anomalies. We're just using space... I mean, this isn't Space Truckers the game, guys. We have the Captain.
You pick any of them that you want there.
Yeah, I'm looking. We have this guy, and then we have the medical officer, which is other blue guy. All right. So again, people, we have roughneck, engineer, captain, and medical officer. Those are the 4 profiles I have in front of me. As Matt had been saying earlier, these things have all sorts of little bits of information on them. Not focusing. No. There. Hold it. So there's defensive and offensive profile, and I'm going to need to walk off that camera because I didn't do that after I restarted my computer. Matt, take it away.
Cheeky boy.
All right, so
use words.
We have. So one of the things that you heard mentioned for the start of the scenario is that we have dread. Dread is something that accumulates over the course of a game, and whether there is a player anomaly or an AI anomaly, dread is spent over the course of the game. When it's an AI anomaly, there are some very specific thresholds or situations, like if this happens, 1 dread is spent, 2. And when you have a player anomaly, they have the freedom to sort of build up and use this dread over the course of the game to do awesome things like move whatever the anomaly is, like through walls or reposition them, scare the crew, terrify them, and they can switch. You can do things like force them from offensive posture to defensive posture, and they're going to have to find a way to get back again. There's lots of opportunities to use dread to navigate the game and create some different encounters and change what's happening so that it's not, you may not know what's coming. The characters that we're using right now, you said the captain, right?
The captain, the medical officer, the roughneck, and the engineer.
Okay, so the captain is he's got a trait for command, so it depends who wants to play the captain and what stance do you want them to be in.
I will play the captain. I'm gonna play offensive.
Yes, cool.
Yes.
All right, so you're
not in the combat sense. I'm gonna be swearing all night.
Excellent. That
Checks
would
out.
probably be the captain. So
The Australian captain.
You have, I am the captain now. You have a field of view of 90 degrees. Your ranged combat is a little bit higher since you're offensive. Your melee is average. Your awareness has gone down a little bit because you're more concerned with combating whatever's on the ship. And your trait changes from command to repel borders. So once per turn, the captain may make a snapshot shooting action without the -5 penalty. So you can do some extra shooty. And you have your service pistol. And one of the things that's a little bit different with weapons in Anomaly versus Don't Look Back, ranged weapons, because you're in such confined spaces, range is whatever you can see to with any ranged weapon except for the incinerator, like your flamethrower has a range. But if you can see it, normally you can shoot at it. Characters are considered to have all the ammo that they need for the encounter to fire normally, but weapons do have an ammo value. So like your service pistol has an ammo of 1, which means that it's basically spare ammo or reserve ammo, or the amount of ammo that the captain has deemed it's okay to sort of blast away. And when you make a ranged attack and you decide to use the ammo, it's called volume of fire. And instead of taking careful shots, you sort of blast away, and you'll have the ability to add more damage to that attack if it hits. But you have to choose before you shoot.
Oh, that's cool.
So once a weapon has 0 ammo, you can still fire it normally. You can still make the snapshot and normal ranged actions. You just can't add volume of fire to it until you find ammo. So people like the soldier have their combat rifle, and they may have 2 or even 3 ammo. So they're more capable of laying down suppressive fire, heavy fire. Then we have the roughneck.
The roughneck. I'll go roughneck.
And would you like to be?
I am also offensive. The captain chose me for a reason.
All right. Perfect. And you're like, I love his little lore blurb, fluff blurb is fighting on the frontier, fixing hull breaches with 5% oxygen warnings. Not much scares you anymore. So you are offensive. So you're trading been there, done that. You do not gain stress from any of the environments. So environments are those kind of factors that can happen in rooms. So they could be like confined or flickering lights. You don't care about that. You're not concerned. Venting into space, whatever. Who cares?
I don't care.
And you have traded in your personal heavy suit for your incinerator. So it does only have a range of 8, but it's one of the highest damage values in the game.
That's 7 more inches than I need, baby.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see about that.
And the Roughneck also has a field of view of 90 degrees, but you're ranged in your melee, and offensive is very good. You have a body of 25 and a panic of 6.
All right.
And then we have medical officer. Was that another one?
Yeah.
Which one of you wants to play the medical officer?
I'll be the medical officer as well, because it makes sense that the Roughneck and the medical officer are buddies.
Okay.
All right. And would you like to be defensive or offensive?
He's defensive because he is aware that his loudmouth partner tends to just get hurt.
Okay, so you have a trait. You have triage. So once per turn, you may remove 1 stress or 2 wounds from a character within 4 inches. And you start with a bandage item. So you can discard the bandage item to heal a character in the same board section, which that needs to change to within a distance now. So board section used to refer to an arc piece that you were in. So I'll have to give that a specific range, which will probably be 3 inches. But you heal them D10 wounds. And you are not so great at fighting, but you do have a high awareness. Your body's a little lower at 20, but you do have a high panic because you've been on the frontiers.
I'm telling you, man, Medic and Roughneck, they're the duo. You ever play Team Fortress 2?
Yes. And then the engineer, is that the other one?
Yeah, that's the last one.
So Ben, you're the engineer. Would you like him to be, or her, or they? Would you like them to be offensive or defensive?
I'm gonna do defensive for the engineer.
Okay, cool. So you have still pretty high awareness at 13, but you have a trait. You have patch job. So once per turn, as a quick action, the engineer may make an awareness check to fix a broken door within 4 inches. So it'll give you a little board control to kind of keep the Xeno out, because the anomaly can slam into the doors and break them, and you'll be able to fix them. And you have a trait called Pack Rat. When this character successfully searches, you may add or subtract 1 from the search table result. These are most likely going to change to cards, so it would probably be draw 2 and pick 1. Is probably what that will turn into. And I'm going to play the anomaly.
Cheeky boy.
All right.
Let's go. Now,
so you've thawed, you've made your plan.
I was going to say, we may not play through a full game of this. Just remember, this is just live playtesting. We're just kind of hanging out, playing some together. So, we may not finish a full game. We'll see kind of how we go.
Something that is important to this game. So the ISS, the ship's computer, has woken you up. There's a big screen in front of you. The alarm is flashing, and it says anomalies detected. There are some coordinates. A rough map is on the screen, and it will show you where some of these things have been detected or last detected. As the 4 crew members sort of start to make a plan, they have no idea what they're up against, what's happened, why they've been awoken early and thawed. So sometimes plan A doesn't go exactly the way that you would like. So everybody also the players also get a plan B. And this would be done randomly. So one of you, or I guess Connor, you're going to need to roll a D10 to see what your plan B is. So if plan A fails, what's plan B? What are you going to be trying to do to, if nothing else, maybe gain a moral victory before you are lost in space forever?
I love moral victories. First off,
guys, the ship is imploding and we're basically going to drift forever as frozen popsicles, but at least we had the moral victory. Oh, look at Connor with the red light. Look at that. Oh,
is that causing? Is it going to cause seizures? There we go. That's probably better. It's a little atmosphere.
Yeah, look at that. That's cool.
Okay.
Roll a d10, bro.
Oh yeah, that's right. Here we go. D10. Also, my dice roll camera just like stopped working, so not sure what's going on there.
So I can cheat. Oh yeah, that's awesome. The alarm light is like that's how delayed I am from you guys. I'm watching the alarm light right now.
3. I rolled a 3.
All right. So survival. If we can't get out of the ship, or get the self-destruct set up, then if all 4 starting characters are alive at the end of the game, you would essentially win a minor victory. So if all 4 of the originals can still be there, you can at least win a minor victory, even if you can't succeed at your main mission.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. That's probably not going to happen. They're tough. The plan Bs are like, maybe we can do this. Maybe something else for us to shoot for just in case.
I like it. It's the backup plan. All right, let's go. How do we get this game started?
So the first thing we need to do, if you didn't do it already, Connor, is place 2 PTTs, which stands for potential threat tokens, in the escape pod room, and 1 PTT randomly within 6 inches of the center of the table.
2 within the escape pod room.
Yep.
Should we designate one of these as an escape pod, or can they both? These bay doors.
I would decide one. I kind of like the one that's got like the jaggedy lines on it. That one looks cool.
All right.
That looks like it would open up and the pod would like be there.
Rise out. Yeah. All right. So I got 2 of those, and then 1 where?
Randomly within 6 inches of the center of the table. So these represent things that the ship's computer is tracking, and they are anomalous in the nature.
There's something in the elevator.
Oh, nice. Of course there is.
Cut the cables. Let it fall.
Cool. All right. So that's done.
All right. So we are ready to start our first game. One of the other things that sort of changes with the design of missions in this, in DLB, a lot of them are achieve an objective and you win, and you have X amount of time to do it. A lot of, scenarios in Anomalies Detected revolve around you having to achieve an objective and also survive to the end of the game. So it may not just be good enough to go and boop a button or fix some holes that are venting into space. You have to do that and survive to the end of the game with whatever the objective is.
Hey, you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, he wrote the game, so he can tell us what to do. Really.
So we already know what the objective is. 3 characters must make it to the pod bay and make 2 successful awareness rolls, and last to the end of the turn, with the escape pod ready to leave. So
all right.
Good luck. So the first thing that we're going to do, if we jump into the game, we have our crew thought. You've chosen your posture, decided that you need to at least survive. Like if we can't get to the escape pods, then we got to at least survive long enough to send a message back to headquarters to let them know that something's going on.
Yep.
The first thing that we're going to do is increase dread for the turn. And right now we're on turn 1, so there isn't naturally anything increasing dread other than the point that I already have. Things that can increase dread if they were happening at the beginning of the turn, if there's a character who is actively panicking, which means they have more stress than their panic value, then they are panicked, you would gain a dread. An anomaly is revealed on the table, just adds 1 dread every turn. And there's some things that can happen outside the beginning of the turn. So when a character is attacked by an anomaly, it automatically adds a dread. And when a character initially panics, it also adds a dread. So those are some things that can increase that.
So much dread. I'm feeling it all. I'm so much dread flowing through my veins right now.
So now what we need to do is we actually enter the anomaly phase. The first thing we do is roll for tokens. Another big difference from Don't Look Back is that each turn, the potential threat tokens are always rolled for. There isn't that building tension mechanic that Don't Look Back has. So we're in space, shit is hitting the fan or has hit the fan, and things start up right away. So starting with the token closest to the characters, which I think is that middle one, the one that ended up in the middle.
The elevator one?
Yes. I think that's the closest. Maybe
Yeah,
it's not. So go ahead and... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, what am I rolling?
You're just going to go ahead and roll a d10 for them.
It is a 7.
So it's going to move 6 inches towards character with the most stress. In the case of a tie, the anomaly player may choose.
Who's it moving towards?
Can move through closed doors and walls. So I think it's going to just move directly towards the good doctor there.
Okay.
You stay away.
Nope.
Oh, it's like right on the edge of the wall.
Okay, so we'll say that it's not in their board section. Oh, we also didn't add environments to anything in here.
Oh yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah, so the cryosleep chamber always in every mission is always considered well lit and secure. So well lit gives you a bonus to seeing things. Anomaly tokens are immediately revealed when they come into that space. And secure means that an anomaly token can never be created or spawned in there. So you never have to worry about them showing up in that space.
It's like the safe area, kind of.
Yes, yep. And I think maybe the room next door, the one that's got all the cargo-y stuff in it, so you can roll randomly, or you can just choose what you would like to do with them. And I think that one we could... Okay, all right, cool.
Makes it a bit more spicy, you know?
I'm trying out the floating camera today. Let's see how that goes. Let me know how you guys are liking the floating camera.
I like floaty.
Okay, now what?
Roll a d20 for that space.
Okay, rolling d20. It is a 16.
16. The area is confined, so movement is considered a long action in this area, and models making attacks in this area gain 1 stress. So that's all that cargo, funny. The ceiling is low.
Yeah, it's because it's already full of all the crates. That's kind of funny that it worked out
that. They went into cryo sleep, and then the dock workers loading up their luggage just shoved it all into a room.
Dumped it all. That's good enough for a day's work, boys.
They open the door, they walk out, and immediately hit their shins very hard on a metal case.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So now I'm rolling for this other
somebody was just saying can't on point basically, so they can move in. They just can't start there. So that one that's on the wall could be coming in through a vent or whatever it is. They just can't if it says like randomly create or like that one that was randomly placed, it could not be placed in there through creation.
A little bit of a starting handicap, I guess, you know.
Yes.
So now I roll a d10 for each of these.
Yeah, let's just do a couple of the big rooms since your markers don't have the actual name on them. That we won't have to remember as much right now.
All right, well let's just roll for the rooms as we enter them. How about that?
That's also sounds wonderful. Let's do that.
Okay.
So we have that confined space there.
Yep.
So we've rolled for that token. Now we need to roll for the other tokens.
I rolled a 9 for this one.
Awesome. So the token is immediately revealed and add 1 to the roll if the token is currently in a venting or dark environment. So this is where you do kind of need to know something.
Okay.
So let's
I'll
roll
for
for
the
that
pod bay. That's 18.
18 is secure. It can't be because we already have 1 in this size space. So you can only have 1 secure area.
Oh, okay. It is 12.
Well lit. So it's +3 to combat rolls targeting models in this area. PTTs that move into this area are automatically revealed. So they haven't moved in yet, so they will be fine. But being in there, it's easier to see things that are there.
All right, so now back to this guy that I rolled a 9 for.
So you're going to go ahead and roll one more d10. Because it has been revealed, and we're adding one more. So 7. They're in the vents. Place an additional PTT in contact with this PTT. And that new one is not rolled for this turn.
Connor, what did you do?
I'm classic Connor rolls right here. And last PTT is a 9 as well. So
all right, so it's going to be revealed, adding 1.
It is a 9.
Threat verified.
Sorry, it's an 8. 8 plus 1. 8 plus 1.
Yep. So it goes to 9?
Yeah.
So threat verified. Replace the PTT with the chosen anomaly and roll for its anomaly instinct as normal this turn.
Yeah, this is it. This is...
What have you done, Connor?
Classic Connor rolls. Right off the bat, playtesting first time. Why don't we just get this thing out here?
Let's get to the gory bits.
All right, crap. Now what do I do?
So that was all the tokens, right?
That was all the tokens.
All right, cool. So that one that we rolled for gets replaced with our anomaly, which is our, in this case, is called the basic Xeno. There are some other versions that may potentially be available someday. So we have the basic Xeno. Now we would go to the Xeno, like for the revealed Xeno or the revealed anomaly. In this case, it is a Xeno. And we look at them and we decide whether they're engaged or unengaged. So obviously he's not in contact with any crew. So he's unengaged, and we roll for those first. And go ahead and roll a d10.
All right. Rolling d10. It is a 9. Rolling
and this
a lot
would normally,
of 9s.
This would normally be me rolling as the anomaly player. So there still is a little bit of variability, but one of the things that you can do as the Xeno or the anomaly player is spend dread to choose the result that you want from the table. So there are ways to circumvent some of the randomness, and you may choose the thing you want. I'm going to choose to save mine for now. And you got a what? A 9?
A 9.
So the Xeno makes a move action. If it makes contact with a character, roll on the engage table. If it does not make contact, target the closest character with Chitness Spine's attack. If the character is not in range, then use result 1 to 2. So I get to make a move action, and I'm going to immediately move 6 inches towards that open door just above where I am.
All right.
And nobody will be in range because I can't see anybody. So I'm going to use result 1, 2, which is lurking. So he's going to sort of duck into the corner, hiss a little bit, and wait. So all ranged attack against a lurking Xeno are an additional -2. And then we move into the character turn. Since I only have 1, he's moved, he's not engaged, he's not attacking. He's just hanging out, waiting for...
He's just rifling through their luggage. He's going through their boxer briefs.
Filthy. He's a perverted.
He's a pervert anomaly. That's why he's so anomalous. Whoa, we got a ton of YouTube subscriptions. I'm gonna assume those are gifted. I don't know how to see who did that.
YouTube?
But, yeah.
You can't subscribe on YouTube though.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, Miracle Bubbles. They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
You can subscribe on YouTube.
Oh, like it's not like Twitch though, right? Where you pay for it.
No, but there is something that you pay for on YouTube. If someone just pays something for YouTube, speak up.
Thanks anyway. I mean, that's awesome. Thanks for coming and doing whatever you're doing on YouTube.
Ben's over here. Do they give us money? Because if not, why are we talking about them?
We're just talking about aliens
right now.
I mean, yeah,
aliens sniffing drawers. All right. What are we doing? Now what? Character turn?
Yep. And now, much like Don't Look Back, a character can take a quick action and a long action. You can take 2 quick actions, but the difference in this is that you can do them in any order. And Don't Look Back, you have to do quick actions before long. In this, your characters are a little bit more trained, less high school kids running and trying to survive. So you get to choose the order that you do your actions in. Free actions can be done before or after any other action, and you can only take one free action per turn.
And is the list of actions pretty stock standard sort of stuff?
Yeah, so you can move, and in this, characters can move 3 inches with the move action. So all characters will move 3 in this game. If you make a second move action instead of tripping, like in Don't Look Back, you gain a stress as you're starting to wear yourself out and exert yourself.
Okay.
We don't have deep space, so we don't have to worry about tethering. You can use an item if you have one. You can aim, which adds +3. You can do your snapshot, much like Don't Look Back. You can encourage, much like Don't Look Back, a character within 6 inches. You can distract. You can toss an item. You can stumble away. Long action, where we don't have heavy suits that we need to worry about. You can search, you can open and close bulkhead doors, you can shoot, you can make melee and ranged attacks, you can take a deep breath, you can access the ISS, so there are some computer terminals throughout here that you can use to sort of gain some recon on the ship and figure some things out. And you can also investigate.
What would I use to gain recon? Would that be an awareness test?
Yes, so a character in contact with a computer terrain piece may access the ship's sensors to make an awareness skill roll. On a success, they may choose one of the following. You can reveal any potential threat token on the table, so rolling on the reveal table. You can give any character +2 to the next action they take. So instead of having to be within 6, you could like use the comms to yell at somebody in another room. Or you can open and close any bulkhead door on the table on a roll of 3+. So you can start to preemptively cut things off.
Bulkhead doors. So this first one to the cryo chamber is closed. Do I need to put door proxies in other places?
Yes. So all interior doors in this are considered to have closed bulkheads unless the mission would say otherwise.
Okay. I'm going to put a little something to represent that. A die, a purple die. Cool. Ben, your captain is northwest, and your engineer is northeast of the cryopod. What would one of them like to do?
Should we just like book it?
I mean, that wouldn't be a bad plan, I don't feel like.
I mean, I feel like that's what we should just do, Connor. I was going to ask Matt what he wanted to do. I'm like, yeah, but you're the filthy enemy.
He is trying to kill us.
Yeah, I'm going to take
things that you could do to maybe give yourself some time is that computer terminal. If you were to use the Access ISS thing, you could. Oh, they're all closed right now. Anyways, never mind. You're fine. I'm gonna have to break through that door. But like, if that door was open up there, you could close that bulkhead next to the Xeno and cut him off.
Yeah, but we need to get through that door.
Eventually, you do.
Yeah.
And that's where the XO comes in handy, because he can do a free, or as a quick action, he can open or close a bulkhead door within, I think it's 4 inches instead of having to be in contact with it.
Right. Let's just go straight out that door. Let's do it.
Get it.
All right. So you'll move. I guess this is with your captain.
Yeah.
You'll move 3 inches first. Takes you to right here. And then he can move a second time to the door. But that gives him a stress point.
Yes. Yep. He gains a point of stress. Which, again, one of the big differences from DLB is now he's immediately at -1 to the actions that he takes now that he is stressed.
And how do you remove the stress?
You would have to do something like take a breath, or there's certain items, like you can find basically illicit drugs in space and take those.
Nice.
Sick.
Take a hit.
Sick. Nice.
Take
doing
a hit,
it.
boys.
Here we go. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna double move.
Okay, you double moved. You gained a stress. Same with your engineer moving towards this door.
Yep. Let's get out of here. I'm
All
the
right,
captain.
So he can get right up to. He's within 1 inch of the door. Can he do something with this door? Matt?
He has to be in contact with it.
Has to be in contact. So he'll have to spend a second move action to get in contact with the door.
Yes, sir.
All right. Oh, do you want to do that, Ben?
Yes, please. Oh, I'm yawning. I'm a sleepy boy.
All right. So you'll move your second to get in contact with the door. Maybe you shouldn't, because my roughneck can get there and open it up, but not if you're in the way.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that then.
Can he take a look? Can he give his captain a reassuring pat? Hey, bud. It's all right. Is that an ability of some sort?
I'll just be like, hey, buddy.
Yeah, encourage
some of this
is
meth.
in this.
Right, but does it remove a
encourage.
stress point?
Encourage? Oh, you want to remove a stress? No, you would have to take a breath yourself. There's no like helping other people in this game like that. Everybody's in a panic. Everybody's focused on themselves.
I can't just like passionately kiss the captain.
No, you can't give him a slap on the butt cheek and.
See that's
Matt. We told you to write a game that the people wanted.
Yeah,
okay.
This game is going to be a big success, but you can't passionately kiss other characters and you can't slap them on the butt. So
that is true.
This game's going to tank, dude. What have you done?
Yeah, let's just. I don't know if guys. Do we even want to continue with this stream? I'm just okay. All right, we're back in it.
House rule, butt slap.
I'm really liking. Side note: the blinking red light.
Yeah, it looks so good, dude. It looks so good.
Okay, so what? So can he just like hang out? Is he just chilling?
Yeah, he's just gonna chill there.
All right, my roughneck's gonna move. He is now in contact with said door. I can move this over a little bit. Let's stand there. And now what do I do with this door?
The stream just went to stay. Oh, it's back. Okay, everything's safe.
Right.
And now you can with using that action, you can just open it or close it. You're in contact with it. There's no roll required.
Okay. For some reason, on
you slap the big button and it just opens up.
All right. Bulkhead door is opened. That was a move and a thing. So that's it for him, right?
Yes, sir.
Can I move through friendly characters?
You can.
All right. My medical officer is just going to walk right into this spooky room. He'll gain a stress for having moved 2 times.
Get out of the way, boys. Coming through. He just instantly dies.
Oh.
All right. Now what? That's everyone.
Then we would go back. We would start turn 2.
Oh, I guess.
And we'll
Can
start
I do
with
turn plus, Connor? Is that?
I don't think I started that. I did start it. I have not started the counter since I restarted my PC. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Now you can turn plus.
It's a good thing we made it through that.
Wait, how do I do it? Exclamation mark, turn plus? It don't work. Too busy button slapping people.
All right, well, I can't do that, but it is now turn 2.
It's turn 2, guys.
All right, now what? Turn 2.
We're
turn
gonna.
2.
I don't gain dread because none of the conditions are met right now, so I still just have my 1 floating. And then we will start with. We'll go to the anomaly phase, and then we will roll for tokens and see what it is that they do. Starting with the closest, which I think is that one that's like partially coming in the wall there. It's lurking in the vents.
So
roll a d10.
Right. All right. So the anomaly phase starts with the tokens and ends with the anomaly. Okay.
Yep.
I rolled a 5.
Ooh. So it's going to move 3 inches towards a character. PT can move the coasters and walls. Correct. Okay. So he's going to move as close as he can to those people.
3 inches, character, as close as you can. 1, 2, okay, pretty close.
And then because it starts, my phase is the same. Okay, didn't start the phase there. This room is, what did we say? It was secure and well lit.
This room is confined.
No, the
oh, sorry. Yes, the original room is secured and well.
So then we're going to immediately reveal it. So it pops out of a vent in the floor, whatever it is, and we're going to roll a d10 because it's immediately revealed because it's in a well-lit room.
Oh no. What's it gonna be?
It's a 5.
Just a glimpse. Leave the potential threat token unrevealed. All characters with line of sight to the token gain 1 stress. But I think luckily, where you guys all have 90 degrees and you're all focused on that door.
Nope. Engineer's defensive. Engineer's defensive at 180. It's right on the edge of him.
Yes. So he glances over and he's like, "What's that over there in the barrels?" And sees something skittering around.
What's it? Oh man. So he gains a stress point.
Yep.
He walked past the barrels and something slapped his butt, and he was like, "What?"
I thought it was the captain, but it wasn't.
Yeah, well, then he turned around, he noticed all the other people that are on the ship are in front of him, and he was like, "Oh, something's got a butt slapping monster in this spaceship."
Yeah.
Oh man.
Trying to find it.
This game is now just going to be called Butt Slap Detected.
Butt slap detected. Butt slap detected.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have to roll for the other tokens. And we'll see what happens with them.
Okay, I'm good. I'm here, and I'm ready. We're gonna fly over to this area. Yeah. I don't know if I like to fly by camera. We'll see. First token is a 4.
So it's going to move. Sorry, you guys have to deal with my, I printed out all these pages. It's going to move 3 inches towards a character. So it's going to go just directly because it can go as the crow flies, go through walls, do whatever. It'll go towards the closest character.
All right.
So one of the things that's interesting about the potential threat tokens is that, yes, now there is an anomaly revealed and we have the Xeno on the table, but the Xeno has to respect terrain and doors and closed bulkheads, where potential threats can actually be more dangerous early on because this thing's going to be able to kind of float through the wall, going through a vent or whatever it is. And now it's bypassed all those holes and things, and now it's right there.
So it just goes 3 inches?
Yep.
Is this red flashing light going to cause someone to have a seizure?
Not I. I'll be okay. And I know you're only worried.
If it's bothering anyone in chat, just please comment and we'll turn it off.
Yeah, kind of digging it though. Okay. Here we go. That's moved. Now the next one. Next one is an 8. Right here.
Oh, I get to place the PTT in contact with any character.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yes. So here's the fun part about getting to be the anomaly player making choices with this. So I'm going to choose to put it in the person that's in the back. And because it's moving into a well-lit room, it's also now going to be revealed.
Ooh,
Okay.
I see.
So we're putting it in the back. Done. And a well-lit room, and it's revealed, so I roll for it.
Yep.
Don't roll something bad.
It's probably going to be another Xeno. It's an 8.
Threat verified. Replace the PTT with the chosen anomaly.
No! We'll use the little face huggers on these.
Do you remember at the start when Matt was like, "Oh, you don't want 2 of them because they're really
one is bad. One is bad. Definitely don't do more than 1." All right, so that's all the tokens. Now what?
That's all of them. No big deal. That's it. So the with the player anomaly, it's a little bit more. Anyways, don't worry about that right now. I'm just thinking as I'm reading. So now we will roll for unengaged Xeno first.
All right, so that's the one
I
that's
do not
hiding
want to
by the
spend my
boxes.
dread, so it's going to be a D10 on the Xeno's unengaged table. So any anomaly type, so whether it's synth, space pirates, Xeno, whatever it is, they'll have their own unengaged and engaged instincts and their own potential threat token table as well, because they could do things differently. So that really depends on what it is.
Okay. So that's this boy over here. This boy,
Yeah.
What's he doing?
He was lurking, so let's see what he's up to.
Is he gonna just move into the thing, or do I roll for it?
Yeah, you got to roll for him, because I'm not going
okay.
to spend the dread to choose. I'm saving that for my D.
I rolled a 1
there.
on a D10.
Oh, that's actually pretty good for you guys. So he's just going to lurk. So he's going to stay where he is, all ranged attack against the lurking Xeno, or at an additional -2. So he's just happy where he is. He's waiting for you to come out. This one's going to drive you into him. It's his raptor tactics. Clever girl.
Yeah.
All right.
Front.
And
now
then we have the guy
sides.
in there.
Yeah, now we have the engaged one.
Yes, and I want to take a peek at all the fun things that I get to do with my point of dread, which I put somewhere. Hello, my pages are awesome. Let's go ahead and roll for him.
All right, rolling
roll
a D10.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a D10er for me.
It's a 7.
Ooh, that'll be fun. My engaged guy. You got a what? A 7?
Yeah.
The Xeno swings its razor-sharp tail in a deadly arc. Make a melee attack at a -2 combat against all characters within 4 inches and a line of sight. And luckily for us, the Xeno has a 360-degree
Every single character. It's every single character. This alien just showed up and was like, "We slapping butts. I'm gonna slap the butts," and it slaps every butt within line of sight. Oh man!
Right.
Is this a D20?
It is, and he has a melee combat of 16.
-2.
He's going to be at -2 because he's just sort of making a wild swing here.
14. It's extremely good at butt slapping. Okay, so the first one I guess will be here for Ben's engineer. That is a 4. Were you looking for unders?
That'll hit. Yeah, we're looking for unders. That'll hit. So it's going to do 2d10 plus 2 damage. And if you remember, they usually vary between 20 and 25 damage. So some of the characters, it's possible for them to be impaled on the first hit and killed.
So I rolled a 1 and a 6.
All right, that's not too bad. 1 and 6. So 7, 8, 9 takes 9 points of damage.
Okay, and he is defensive. His body's 25. So he's down to 16 wounds.
Yep.
All right. Oh man, this is rough. Next is for the captain.
And now here's the fun part. The Xeno is making an attack this turn, so that gives me 1 dread.
Okay.
There we go.
So I count that up to 2 now. 19 for the captain's attack. Captain, he clinches and it misses him. The roughneck is a 5, so that hits. 2d10 is an 8 and a 4, so that's 14 points.
Oh.
He's down to 11. Let me make sure I'm marking this. Last one is
everything
medical officer is an 8. That hits 6 plus 9 plus 2. 17. 17 points of damage on him.
Shunk.
And he only started with 20, so he's down to 3 wounds.
This is not good for him. This is not good for him.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm looking at his death right now.
And Ben was worried about not finishing this game. Oh wow. All right. Now what?
Wow, I mean, as if that wasn't enough, that he's done. He's done his turn. He has slapped some butts. Whoosh.
Yeah.
And now it's the character phase. You guys are there. It's there. Everybody's there.
So we're supposed to just book it through these escape. Oh, wait, and now this is a confined room that we're about to go in, right? So that's
yes.
What
so
does
the
that
move
mean?
is a long action in there, and if you make an attack while you're in there, you gain an additional stress.
So can we move twice, or can we only move once in that room then?
You can move once in that room.
Can't we fight? What if we turn around and fight this anomaly behind us?
Captain,
You
is that
can.
your orders?
I mean,
You're
I
the
am
captain. You go
I
first, buddy.
need,
You go
I
first.
mean, yeah, I'm gonna turn around and
Okay.
shoot this. I'm gonna shoot this sucker.
Just turning for direction that counts as a move.
Yes, it does.
All right, so he moves, and then he's going to fire his service pistol.
Yep.
1d10. Oh, wait, that's a combat roll. So his range is 10. Does it count as a range since... Well, I guess he's not in touch. Yeah.
And I can
Yeah, he's
use
not
my
or in contact.
repel borders. My once per turn, the captain may make a snapshot shooting without action without.
Yeah,
penalty.
without the -5. Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
So you're going to shoot... Well, your ammo's at 1. So how does that work?
So he could choose to, if he wanted, before he rolls to hit, he could say, I want to use volume of fire. So the captain's going to turn around and fire a blast of ammo. If he hits, he's going to roll an additional d10 damage with his weapon.
Okay, do you want to do that?
Yeah,
then?
let's do that. Yeah, let's do
Okay,
that.
so your melee's 10. We're rolling a d20. Going to see how this goes.
You better roll. Better roll for me, boy.
We going under or over that 10 value?
Going under.
Under. So a 15 perhaps is not a hit.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 15.
Why are you
So
doing
not
this
only
to
did
me,
you
man?
not hit, but you've also blown your volume of fire. So you fire wildly back into the cryo sleep chamber. Kill half a dozen extra crew that's still frozen in their chambers.
Oh man.
The alarms are
not
now in
happy
this
about
room.
that. I'm like not happy about it. I'm the
Okay.
worst captain ever.
All right.
You guys should mutiny.
Your engineer, he is defensive, so he doesn't have any weapons. What's he going to do?
I mean, I guess I'm just gonna. Can I still fight though? Right?
Yeah, you can do basically you can just try and punch him.
Yeah, I'll punch him.
Yeah, get some
All right.
alien.
So
I'll
he's
punch
within
him.
your field of view. He's within your field of view.
Yeah, so I'll punch. I'll punch this guy. Punch him in the face.
Okay, so is that just a straight combat roll?
Yeah, it is. Get him.
Your melee is actually 11. Okay. Your engineer knows what he's doing. I rolled an 11.
Nice. And you're using the unarmed.
Yep.
You don't have a weapon, so you're going to roll 2d10 for damage and choose the lowest die.
It is 2.
There you go. You do 2 damage.
Take that, you xenomorph.
How many wounds does it have?
So this is where the Xeno is interesting. The Xeno doesn't have hit points exactly like the characters do. So what we're going to do for this guy is roll and add for every full 10 points of damage that you've done to an alien, you add to the die roll. So go ahead and roll a d10. We haven't done a total of 10 damage yet, so it's just going to be a straight up d10 roll.
4.
2 to 5, the Xeno squeals in pain and hisses at the characters. The Xeno remains on the table. All characters that have line of sight to the Xeno gain a stress.
Mm-hmm.
You may spend 1 dread to make a melee attack against one character within 3 inches of the Xeno, which I will do. I spend 1 of my 2 dread.
Why? You just pissed it off, man. I have a flamethrower, and you're over here slapping its butt.
So I'm gonna make a melee attack at whoever. Who was it that just shot me? Is he in contact with me?
Your captain.
It wasn't me.
He's not within contact. He is within 3 inches. The engineers who slapped your butt.
Let's give it to the engineer.
Okay.
He fires around into the Xeno, and the Xeno is not having any of that.
All right,
so I'm going to make a melee attack. So I'm going to be at 16.
This is so funny.
It's a 4.
That'll hit.
Get
Let's do some damage to that bad boy.
9, 1, and 8 plus 2. You said so. 11 points of damage.
Yeah.
The engineer goes from 16 to 5 wounds.
Still alive though.
Still alive.
In this game, when a crew member does die, they can actually be replaced in the next turn by a fresh crew member that's thawed. The ISS says, have some help. And each character can be replaced one time during a mission.
Okay, so you can technically you have you could play up to 8 characters. Yeah.
Yep, you have access to 8.
I like that. It kind of makes sense. The computer's just expendable. Feed them, just feed the crew, fix the problem. That's funny. I like that. Yep. Can they be the same or is it different classes?
They have to be different.
Right. So you're not going to get 2 captains, right? That makes
correct.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
All right.
The ISS says obviously that was not helpful. You do not need another engineer.
You don't need the captain. Let's just throw out the XO next.
Yep.
So my roughneck's gonna turn around, and then he's gonna fire his incinerator.
Dude, you should flick your cigarette at him. That'd piss him off even more, right?
I would like to light my incinerator with a cigarette.
Yes.
And then flick it at him, and then fire. So my range is...
You get +1 to your ranged combat for that. I think that's important.
So that's 13 or under. It's a 10. Definitely hits.
And you're in well lit, right? We had said?
Yep.
I want to check because I think well lit. So you get... actually, I don't know if this made a difference for other people, but well lit, you gain +3 to combat rolls targeting models in this area.
The other guy, he missed by 5.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so it hits. Damage is 2d10 plus 2, and I picked the highest d10 value.
Yes, correct.
9 and a 1, so I'm picking the 9 plus 2, so that's 11 points of damage.
Yes, so now you've done a total of, how much did the gunshot do? 4?
13 total. It's 13 now.
So you've done 13, so now you're going to roll on this table, and you get to add 1 to it because you've done a full 10 damage before.
I rolled a 7, and I add 1 for 8.
Okay, so 6 to 8 is the range for this one. The Xeno reels from the damage. The Xeno is -2 to all skill rolls and -1 movement. This result is cumulative. A Xeno that reaches 0 movement is killed, and you also resolve result 1, which is the phosphorus haze that emits from the wounds. But he's -1 movement and -2 to all of his actions, so you've shot him in some sort of spindly arm bit.
Oh boy, they're serving crab legs tonight.
Yeah.
That's me on the cigar. All right. So, and now does that does that 10 wounds? Does that so I haven't done 13. It stays.
Yep. So this Xeno is taken 13. So as you start to build up more damage, you'll eventually be more likely to kill it.
Perfect. I like that.
In order to actually kill the Xeno, you have to get an 11 plus. So until you actually get a first round of 10 on there, it's actually, you can do things like drive it back into the vents, wound it and wear it down, but it won't die until an 11 plus.
All right. My medical officer.
I think it's worth saying, other anomalies like the rogue synths, they have a hit point pool just like a character would. So once they take 20 points of damage, you just destroy that synth. So the aliens are just, the Xeno are just tough.
My medical officer is going to move 3 inches. 3 inches into this room. And when he's over in this storage room, he's going to use... He's defensive. May remove 1 stress or 2 wounds from a character. Can that be myself? Can I remove wounds from myself? All right, so I'm going to remove 2 wounds and put myself back up to 5. Isn't great, but it's better than that. And that's it. That's it for all the characters.
So Anomaly is definitely built around the crew. I mean, they're not tough, especially against the Xeno. They definitely stand up better to things like mercenaries and rogue synths and stuff. But a big strategy against the Xeno Anomaly is really utilizing bulkhead doors and things, like getting into a space, controlling where the Xeno can move, gaining a couple turns because it's going to have to beat on the door and break through it. So that's a big piece of.
And instead, while we're in the midst of a door frame, we decide to turn and try to fight the thing.
Yes, correct.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Well, we'll know next turn. Speaking of, we are now on turn 3. So we roll for those tokens, right? And there's 2 on the map?
Yep.
All right, so we'll roll for the first one, which is in this room, in the well-lit room. It is a 10.
If it's in the well-lit room at the start of the turn, then it does auto-reveal.
Okay. So I rolled a 10.
That would become a Xeno.
What are you doing to me, Connor?
See, here's the... Okay, so remember how I said the more that there are, the more difficult it is for them to come out?
Yeah.
This is me missing my own rule in here. When a PTT is revealed, immediately roll a d10. You subtract 2 from the roll for each anomaly already revealed. So,
all right, so I actually
8 to 10 is threat verified. So the first one will come out normally, but then the second one would actually only come out on a 10. And then after that, you actually can't have more than 2 on the table for this particular anomaly.
So I would have rolled a 6.
Yes, which it's just the cat. Remove the PTT. All characters within line of sight of that token remove 1 stress. So instead of being murdered,
it's a cat.
It's cat.
Do you have the cat model?
I do.
You've got the cat. Nice. Look at the little cat.
So sorry I had missed that. So that second Xeno probably wouldn't have been here either, because I don't think it was a 10 that you had rolled.
Man, Moy is like, look at that cat, and he's just like, yep.
Oh wow!
Hanging out with a cat in space.
He knocked over that oil drum. That's what happened.
Yep. Just let out a bunch of toxic waste.
And that's what the engineer had seen earlier. That's what had like the just a glimpse. The cat was obviously
just a kitty in the shadows,
running around
man.
back in there.
Okay, cool. So now the other one, which is like in this little confined room, over here. Roll for that one. That is a 7.
So it's going to move 6 inches toward the character with the most stress. In the case of a tie, the anomaly player would choose, but I think somebody has 2.
Yeah,
and
the captain has 2.
So it's going to move towards him.
Okay.
Because he's like heavy breathing and panicking. Yep. It senses that, moves in.
And now we'll move to the unengaged Xeno. Just this guy hanging out over here. Rolling a what for him?
A D10.
A D10 as well. Here we go. It is a 3.
The Xeno makes a move action. If it makes contact... So it's going to move into that door, I think, over there. It's going to move up to that door.
Moves 6 inches up to the door. But he's at the door, right? You can't get through the door.
So when a Xeno moves to a closed door, it will stop immediately and attack it using its claws and tails attack. So it's going to need a 16 or less. When a door takes 20 points of damage, it is opened permanently, but the engineer has that ability to fix those, which can be important.
All right, so I roll its attack, so I roll a d20.
Yep, and he has a 16 for the base.
It's an 11. It hits, so it does 3 plus 10 plus 2. 15.
So it does 15 of the 20 points needed. So this is how you can use bulkheads and doors, the bulkheads and things to sort of slow the Xeno down so you can get to objectives.
Now the thing that sucks is that's the closest door. It can go around, but... Alright, so there's 5 points left on that, and now, swinging back over to the engaged. The engaged Xeno.
Roll a 1. That would be really good.
Get the camera. situated.
The important thing is that I didn't have 2 dread because I spent 1 on that reaction. If I had 2, I could make my choice right now and I could choose the make an attack against all characters within 4, but I don't have enough dread to do that.
I rolled a 5.
Which is the Xeno senses weakness and strikes. Make a single melee attack against your choice of 1 character in contact. I think there is only 1 in contact, right?
Yeah, it's just the engineer in contact.
All right. Well, we'll swing-a-ling at him.
All right, and now it's -2 to the skill, so it's a 13 or under now.
Yes, because he has been wounded by the incinerator. Yep.
It's a 5, so it doesn't matter there. A 10 and a 2 and a 2, so 14 points.
Yeah, give it to him.
Eviscerated.
Yes.
The captain and the roughneck just saw that. Do they gain a stress?
They do.
Captain, you're at 3. Roughneck is now at his 1. What else happens?
That's it for now. That character is killed.
Okay.
That's it.
Dan.
The first casualty. All right. Now, character's turn.
Character's turn. I mean, surely you can kill it, right? You've already put damage into it. You're at 13. Do 7 more, you hit the next threshold, add 2. Or you could go through the door and close it. Up to you.
Like we should. I'm going to go through the... we should go through the door. I'll go through the door and shoot it. And then, Ben, you go through the door and close the door.
Yeah, there we go. And
But
that's
before we go through
about...
the door, let's let the cat walk through the door.
Oh, okay.
Side.
You're right.
I don't want to leave that little kitty cat in the room with the alien.
Hold.
This is one of the things that I think is going to be really cool about this game, is that my hope is that designing the different anomalies will encourage different ways to play. So with the crew being fragile against this anomaly, even though there's that door back there that's the quick route to the escape pod, is it worth taking more time to kind of bypass him and go out through the top and then take the long way around and form a plan? So I like that there's different ways to sort of engage and deal with the anomaly than just we're just going to attack them all the time. We're just going to attack them all the time.
It gives the game a bit of variety and potential tactics as well. Like you can, for people that maybe enjoy min-maxing a little bit, dare I say, it's definitely not that type of game, but there's some possibilities there if you and your friends want to really try and kit yourselves out and beat this thing.
There are other Xeno. So this is the basic Xeno. There are actually 5 other ones that are written that get progressively even more difficult and do different things. So you can do a lot with challenging yourself even with just the Xeno.
Right.
All right. So I'm going to move back 3 inches and fire.
Like, this is a great scene to me too. The cat meanders through the door. The roughneck backs through, shooting flame to give cover to the captain so he can get out of there.
Yeah, we can't leave the poor cat in there.
All right, cat's good. Cat's good. Here we go. 12. It's a 12. Thing's well lit, so I got 13. That's a hit. Roll 2d10. An 8 and a 6. I'll pick the 8 plus 2. Yeah. So that's 10 points. That's up to 23. So now I roll a d10 plus 2.
Yeah, correct. Yep, exactly.
I rolled a 6 plus 2. It's an 8.
So that's still the 6 to 8 range. So it reels from the damage. It's an additional -2 to its skill rolls and another -1 to its movement. So now he's -4 to his combat.
I cooked the other the leg. All right, now Captain, you're moving back. Moving back next to the cat. Cat probably hops up onto this thing for now. And you're going to close that door?
Close it.
Yeah, as long as you're in contact, you can. This doesn't require any kind of a roll.
Seal it.
Oh, it feels good. Okay. A moment of reprieve.
Yeah.
And then the engineer is going to move through the medic. He knows that the roughneck has it handled. He's just going to move 3 forward. And that would be the end of turn 3, right?
Yeah, here's the sad thing is that I guess he wasn't killed yet. So in the next turn, there's going to be a poor new crew member spawn
no,
into the crowd
right.
we locked him in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that makes me feel bad.
All right,
for them.
all right. Let's continue through the next rounds. Get that crew member spawned. See what kind of shenanigans happen. And then, and I think that I mean, this gives me a pretty, for not having played, I feel pretty comfortable now. You're right. Its mechanics are similar to Don't Look Back. Like the language is all the same, but I mean, I'm not used to just like locking somebody in there to purposefully die if it's not Seth. You know?
Yeah. Well, actually, crew member did.
Yeah, maybe that was Seth. Maybe that was Engineer Newton up on the USS Erikstad.
So start of turn 3, I gain a point of dread because it's turn 3 or higher. So now every turn I'm just going to start gaining dread as the Xeno player. Now things are ramping up. So I'm at 2. We would roll for tokens, starting with closest.
We only have 1 on the board.
Right.
It's a 10, so -2, so it's a 6.
So it's actually -4 because we have 2 Xeno on the table.
Right, so
-2 for each Xeno.
So it's a 6 out of 10.
Oh, sorry. Okay. 6 is. Sorry, let me get back to my thing. Yeah. Move 6 inches. The character with the most stress.
So it's going to be the captain. He is in base to base now.
And let me make sure I'm getting all those. So a token starts the anomaly phase in the same room, or moves into the same room as a character. So it's actually revealed.
Ah, okay. Cool. Wait, so
you did do that. I'm sorry, you did do that because you did the -4 and you got a 6, right?
Yeah.
So that the captain backs up and doesn't realize it, but man, it's just the cat again, and he's in here. It's crazy.
Hits the cat. He takes a breath, and the cat like meow in between his legs. And he just gets super spooked and boots the cat halfway across the room.
We remove that potential threat token. All characters in the line of sight of the token remove a stress. Thank goodness.
I say something snarky about the cat. Some choice roughneck words. Okay.
At the start of the anomaly phase, okay. When
the cat
when the last PTT on the board is being rolled for, and there's not a revealed anomaly on the table, it automatically reveals the chosen regardless of the type of PTT it may be. Yep. So okay, we're good. Unless something creates more tokens, we don't have to worry about it. So unlike DLB, when the last threat token is revealed, or the last fright token, more are generated.
Okay. This is not a new arc set. This is a very old arc set that's very, very dusty and dirty. But it's the same thing as all the other ones. It's just it's had some natural weathering.
Now, if you go to the website, you'll see that pretty much everything in the art category is out of stock. I get emails about it almost daily. It's just we try and make this stuff as fast as possible, but at the moment we just cannot keep up with demand. So
we officially now have the lasers running 7 days a week.
Yeah, with 2 shifts, and we still can't keep up. So
methods are in.
We're trying.
All right, so Anomalies turn. They're gonna go. They're both unengaged now.
Yes. So the one that's at the door is just going to attack the door because he's there.
All right. So it's going to be a roll. It's a 4. It definitely hits. He does 6 + 9, 15, 2. So it definitely breaks down this door up here. And then this little guy. What's this little guy doing?
And roll for him. Actually, you should roll for the top one still because on a 1 to 2, he could lurk. He could kind of get frustrated by the door and just stand there. So if he does that, then he wouldn't attack the door.
It was a 3.
Okay.
So
he attacks the door. That one does. And then let's go for this guy down here who's not doing anything yet.
And I roll for him. It is a D10, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I rolled a 10.
Mm-hmm. Ambush. So it goes quiet on the other side of the door for a moment, and then you place the Xeno outside the closest character's front arc. And if he can't for some reason, then he would be in the front arc. But he basically hops up into the ceiling vent, drops out of the ceiling onto whoever that is on the other side of the door. The poor captain, I think.
So the cat, he backs up into the cat. I make a snarky comment about said cat. We laugh, and as he takes a deep breath, and he feels the cat again, but he looks over, and the cat is, oh, that timing. The cat is on the other side of the room. That's what's occurring right here. This stupid cat, and it goes,
it's just like hanging
and it's
out
in the corner. It's just,
I love that.
Well, what's behind me? All right, and now does it attack?
Yes, it does.
Oh.
So you're gonna roll on the engage table for him.
So is that a 10? D10 or what?
Yeah, it is. But I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is spend my 2 dread.
Okay.
Of course you are.
And you're just gonna. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna swing my tail in a big deadly arc.
All right,
so this is gonna be a total of -6 because I'm already beat up pretty good.
-4.
This seems fun.
Oh! It's a 19, but it was almost a 1. Like it was a 1 with the slow fall to a 19. I was about to lose it, man.
He does against that character count as blindsiding him because he's outside of his arc. So if the attack is out of target's field of view, it gains an additional +2 to its melee combat value. Doesn't matter. I think he still misses. And the target is turned to face the attacker now. And if the attack is successful, add an additional +2 to the damage roll. So all it's going to do is just turn him around.
All right.
And then he'll make his wild swing at the roughneck.
Oh yeah, that's right. So that'll be a that one hits. Roughneck gets hit.
Of course he does.
3 + 4 + 2.
Oh man.
So 9 points.
Low roll. Yeah.
Well, he's only got 2 wounds left. So.
Well, it could be enough though. Could be enough.
All right. That's it for the anomalies?
Yeah. The other one broke the door open. He ambushed out of the vent, dropped down on them.
Okay. Now
we thaw a new character.
Yeah, so we would roll for that? Or
draw from the deck. We would draw from the deck. Let's just go. I'm just going to look at the next person down on this front sheet. So we have the captain. So let's have the lieutenant, who I think actually replaced the XO. I think I changed his name. Oh, no, XO is still on there. So the lieutenant is woken up. And let's put him in... let's put him in offensive.
Offense. So lieutenant wakes up in offense. In a closed room with blood, the corpse of their engineer that he had briefly met before they shipped off, right in front of him, and it smells like cat piss.
The other thing is that I believe, I'm pretty sure, that... wow.
What is going on in here? What is that smell? Why is there dead bodies everywhere? Nice.
Oh my gosh.
So I believe he can only take a quick or a long action this turn when he first wakes up.
He's probably gonna move towards that computer, I feel like, and try to check things out on that end. That's what I would do.
He does have, since he's offensive, he does have a shock baton, which is
but he doesn't know what he's offensive about right now. All he knows is
the computer is like, you've woken up. There's danger.
Oh man. All right. So
he has, this could be important. He has a trait called Focus. Damn it! As a free action, you can add 1 dread to remove 1 stress from all crew within 4 inches, and this dread may bring the dread amount above its turn limit. So the amount of dread, I forgot about this, but the amount of dread that I can accumulate is equal to the turn number that we're on. So also as the game goes on, you can build up more, but early on you can't have like a huge pool of it to just completely poop on everybody.
Man, let's see. That was 3 turns. That was halfway through turn 4 here, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's resolve this action here. Let's resolve this captain mano-a-mano sort of situation.
All right, I like it.
And then we'll call it for this live playtesting. So the captain's engaged with him right now. Does he need to like well, he can't stumble away. How does that work?
He can stumble away.
Okay, so he needs to stumble away first before I can shoot at the thing with my flamethrower?
Yes.
All right, Ben, you're stumbling away. I'm going to assume, unless you want to try to punch it first.
Yeah, I'm going to punch that.
Well, you have your service pistol. Can he use that?
He can, but not in melee. So you could back up and shoot him if you wanted to. So again, remember that out of ammo doesn't mean he can't shoot. It's just that now he has to be more conservative with what he chooses to do.
Stumble away is with an awareness roll? Or what?
I'm checking. I want to double check because a stumble away, a model in contact with an enemy model may move away 1 inch and gain 1 stress. So there's no roll or anything to it.
All right, just gain stress. All right, and now you're going to try to shoot the thing, Ben?
You better believe that I'm going to do that.
Go. It is a 9. It hits.
Ooh.
Does 1d10 worth of damage. 1d10. 2.
But you still get to make your damage roll. He's at 17 now. Is that right? Or
25.
I'm sorry, 27?
25.
Okay, so you're still going to get your roll at +2.
It is a 10.
Oh. Which becomes +2. The Xeno is killed and slumped to the floor, arm still twitching. The Xeno is killed. All characters remove 1 stress, regardless of where they are. And I don't have any. I could spend 1 dread to also resolve result 1, which is the all characters within 3 inches take a damage from his phosphorus emissions. But all right, so it's killed and everybody removes the stress.
We did it. We killed it, guys. We can relax. Let's crack a tinny and chill out.
So we
Anomaly removed.
We now move forward. I would say this gives that XO who just woke up reason to go through that door in the next turn. And other than that, we just make our way. I mean, we killed 1, but there's another one right up this door that just broke this door down. So
yeah, we've only taken 1 down so far.
We've only made it through 1 room.
Yeah.
Turn 4. Well, I guess he could move and try to open the door. He moves and opens the door, but oh yeah, this would be tight. This would be, I can see continuing forward, this would be pretty rough to get to that escape pod.
I think we could do it. It would just be a bit of a slog, I reckon.
Man,
we could.
That was awesome. Actually,
that was great.
It was pretty cool.
Guys, thanks for hanging out with us if you're still here. Again, this is a bit of live playtesting. I have not even read these rules before. Ben hasn't gotten a proper game in. And that was a ton of fun. And like I said a bit earlier, same sort of mechanics as Don't Look Back. Like the language, again, the language of the game is the same, but that was a very different game that we just played.
Like Don't Look Back's older sister.
It is. Don't Look Back's older sister.
She's a bit more worldly,
Like you can see the resemblance in the face. but
Yeah.
she's like, she definitely had a period where she was on like illicit, like hard drugs.
Right, it's different. It's like it's a
DLB's
different
meth face older sister? Question mark?
Like she's cleaned up. No. She's cleaned up now. She's cleaned up. But like,
she's got a job. She's got a job. She has a love in her life. You know,
right.
everything's looking up. But yeah, it's basically like it's if I would say this, if you love Don't Look Back for the ability to play cooperatively and narratively, and if all of the things you love about Don't Look Back, you're gonna love, you know, Anomalies Detected. And I think that's the thing, is like it's just a different flavor of game, and it also allows, like, you know, if you and your mate want to play, and your mate is like, I want to play the aliens, you know, then it also gives you a little bit more, you know, flexibility in that regard, which I think is really cool.
This is also a step more in the like a little bit. This is definitely more competitive than Don't Look Back. Don't Look Back is really designed to allow you to create the scenes and cinematic experiences you want. This is in that vein, but definitely meant to be more of a chess match. Like, you kind of have to think ahead. What are you going to do with your crew? How do you work around the anomaly that you have? How do you use the board and the terrain to your advantage? Or how is it going to disadvantage you? And the mission turns are designed with that in mind in this as well. So DLB the plots tend to have a little bit of a higher turn limit, because I always wanted players to have the ability to take a turn to do something fun, as opposed to I need to use my 2 actions from my character to do X. So I wanted people to have the opportunity to do things like bang on walls and turn on lights, or go explore a point of interest, or have Kat go skateboard because that's cool and what she would do, as opposed to I need her 2 actions to win this plot. This is getting to be a little bit more competitive now, where you have to sort of think ahead and be a little bit more efficient with what you choose to do.
Which I think is really cool. It's different, a bit of a different flavor for sure. You know, so estimated release date. Can't say that right now. We're not going to commit. We're not going to commit to a date right now. Before the end of the year is all I'm going to say.
2021.
It's like I said, there is a date that we would like to hit, and the second that we know we can hit that date is when it'll be announced. But you'll have plenty of time. You'll have weeks before it launches, most likely. It's going to be a backroom project. Obviously, we didn't talk about that, so this will be a backroom launch. So we will have, if you took part in the Luna one, it's going to be like you'll be able to pre-order with a core box, and that's going to get you a bunch of bonuses. The more we sell, the more bonuses we can offer, you know, that kind of thing. So we've got a lot of really cool ideas and stuff lined up. Yeah, we're just like really excited to get this done and kind of get this, you know, over the line. I think it'll be awesome. Matt's done a great job on the rules. The playtesters are kind of picking away at it right now. You know, it's behind the scenes. There's like 1,000,001 things going on for this.
Right. Yeah.
But a lot of people really loved the stuff that Connor and I did with Luna, where we just would like play test live and just like play the game, because people got a chance to see it and kind of start to, you know, I know there was guys building terrain and doing all sorts of cool stuff. So
and the table and that's something that hasn't changed. So if you have been sort of waiting for this and building terrain on a 2x2 for whatever, that has not changed. So whatever tables and terrain built or are building for anticipation of this will absolutely be usable. That's not gonna change on you.
It's in that version of playtesting where it's like, should this be a 10 or a 9?
Yeah. Nothing like the big picture stuff isn't changing. It's all like minor details and wording stuff. So we'll probably keep doing this. Probably you'll start to see, you know, Anomalies Detected a lot more on stream. It'll be mixed in still with, obviously, with Don't Look Back and with Luna. But yeah, It's getting there.
That's it. That is Anomalies Detected. Formerly
Thank you
known
guys
as
for
Work
coming and
Entitled
hanging out.
Anomaly.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks everyone.
Thanks for walking us through it.
If you want to check out our website, there is a pretty cool category of space horror miniatures and space horror STL files. You can start to pick away at some of those in anticipation. All of that stuff would be perfectly usable for Anomalies Detected. It's not. We're going to have official models for the game, but
Yes.
you'll absolutely be able to use a lot of our existing space horror stuff too if you want to do that. So yeah, thanks for hanging out.
We'll be back next week with something. We don't know yet. Maybe mixing up with some DLB again. May get back into the lunar swing. Or there's even the possibility of a major curveball and getting Sean Sutter back into the loop for a few fun things.
We also need to play Regime Rumble again.
Also,
I was going to say, I would love to do like a thing where we do like a 2v2, like 2v2v2. You know, that would really dig doing that. I think that would be fun.
We we went from having Just Don't Look Back for the past year to now having like 6 games that we need to be balancing, and it's
like having a bunch of children, and it's like, well, which one do you take out for ice cream?
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Well, we don't have just one child anymore. There's multiple children.
Correct.
And they all can't have ice cream. We're too poor to get everyone ice cream.
We're too time poor.
We have to choose.
Yeah.
You know?
All right.
So
that's it, though. Thanks for being with us while we choose. We'll be back next week unless you know what we choose before then.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody.
If you're here, thanks for that raid. Thanks everyone who's watching on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. You're the champions. You're the best. We'll see you on the other side.
Goodbye.